we need art in our lives, not to be artists, not just to relax, but to process ourselves and process life and process what happens. As kids, we're writing stories, we're making art, certain music attracts us, we make noise. And as we grow up, it's just Excel sheets and metrics and calculators. When do we slow down to process what's happening and what we're doing? Because the truth of it is, there's no meaning. We don't know why we're here. We don't know why we're the only species that have gotten this far, why we drive cars, why we pay taxes, why everyone's goal in life is to buy a house when anyway we're all gonna die. Nothing really makes sense, and I wonder if the world we've designed is our coping mechanism. It's the fear of not being in control, and that's why we've created all these systems where we can control. We've created all these goals, right? So now life feels like a video game with an end. But life isn't like that. Life doesn't make sense. We don't know why we're here. We all have our theories about why we're here. But if we really sit with it, we don't know. And we don't know what we should be doing and how we should be spending our time. So I wonder if we shy away from the unknown because our brain doesn't like it. Our brain can't handle it. Our brain doesn't like the idea of surrender. And so it keeps creating these fictional stories that temporarily guide us in a direction. They put us on a track. Even if it's the wrong track, we'd rather have a track, right? Because why are we all using ChatGPT? It's giving us answers. Even if they're the wrong answers, we'd rather have an answer than no answer. We'd rather have an incorrect answer than no answer. I think that's why we've designed the world the way we've designed it. So if we could quiet our brain and get off those tracks, slow down, and just sit. See what's calling us, right? If you haven't done this in ages, probably you're too scared to look in there. You know, Netanyahu probably is way too scared to look in there. I feel the people causing the most destruction in this world are too afraid to look in there. And all of the pain they're inflicting externally and internally is because they can't handle the unknown. They'd rather live in the illusion of fear and react to it, even though nothing has happened to really prove that the fear is worthy. They'd rather stay in control, in the wrong control, than in the unknown. And the weird thing is, everyone's gonna die. How have you spent your life? How have you spent your life? I don't think we're all here to be artists. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that you could be a banker, you could be a lawyer, you could be a scientist, but you will guide us with your work if you're checking in with yourself. If you are listening to yourself, if you are processing your own humanity and the humanity that is around you and bringing that into your work, that means your work will have such a different energy and such a different level of information. So the solutions you propose aren't forced, they're inspired. They're inspired in spirit. They have a godlike essence to them. They actually serve us. They're not just a band-aid. They're not a short-term solution. So, do you know what the best thing for you is? And I don't know what the best thing for me is, because everything in my life that has been awesome has been unplanned. And everything I've tried to plan hasn't worked out. So, what does that tell me? The evidence tells me that God, the divine energy, the universe, is a much better planner than me. That's an event planner I will happily hand myself over to, and that's what I'm trying to do. Art or creativity, writing, all these things that help you process what's alive in me right now? What do I really want? How does this offer make me feel? How does this invitation make me feel? I've been getting work opportunities that old hustle Alia would have been, oh my god, yes, I have to take this. This is gonna be such great exposure. It's gonna be so well paid. But honestly, now when I think about how I feel something, I was never aware of how I felt before. It was all brain driving. Now I'm like, somehow I'm cringing at this opportunity. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. And my brain's like, are you actually thinking of passing up on this opportunity? And then I'm like, yeah. If it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel good. Why should I do it? How can I start a project and give it real attention if it doesn't feel good? And I'm alive for how many years? Who knows? I don't want anything to distract me from things I want to do. I love writing. I love creating. I love the freedom that I have right now. And if it's not a completely aligned project, which means it keeps those things alive in me and gives me that creative freedom, then it's a distraction. Sure, I need money. Sure. And I'd rather do smaller part-time things that don't demand as much than a high-profile thing that really demands me to perform. But to perform is different than be present. I want to be present with my work. I want my work to honor that. And so for me, aligned projects right now are ones that get that. Back to art therapy. I don't want to call it art therapy because that also makes me cringe. I just want to say tools that help us process. Playing that helps us process. That's what I think we need to have as adults. I think we need to normalize it. I think by softening, allowing our vulnerabilities to show up, even to ourselves, will make us closer as a society, and it will make us do better work. We can't just drive with our brains. I love this quote by Albert Einstein. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. So we are driving with our minds and forgetting our heart. We are thinking about how things should be instead of feeling. We need more ways to involve our heart. And our heart doesn't only respond with linear logic and calculators. It responds with shapes, colors, sounds, sizes, smells.
I think that it's in the mess that we find truth, and so many people don't even allow themselves to make a mess. But that's where we know what calls us, what doesn't call us. You can't go through things without making a mess. You can't reorganize your closet without first dumping it all out and making a mess. So I think the mess speaks to us, and art is messy, and writing is messy, and if you're always doing business in a way that is clean, then very often it is a lie. I think it was Wayne Dyer who said, the minute you label me, you negate me, or someone else said it and he quoted it. It's this idea of constantly needing to put things in a box and being in control versus being real. Life is messy. Life is messy. The roots that produce a tree are messy. They're not straight lines, they're messy. So I feel like when we allow mess in our lives, whether it's collaging or, whatever, all the things I've mentioned, we can sort through what is bullshit and what is real. And we allow things to come, good ideas, bad ideas, and stupid ideas. And the stupid ideas might then again be seen next to a great idea, and then something magnificent happens. The way we create needs to change. The way we create, the way we evaluate, the way we edit.
So to conclude, before I go buy my art supplies, I'm getting an easel. I'm so excited. because I want an art station so I can like paint whenever. I don't like packing my things up. But the conclusion is we need to play more. We need to allow our emotions out. I think that's how we release them and move on, and not spread more pain on ourselves and on others. Let me know what you think. I honestly feel like I'm naive, but I also feel like I'm onto something because I've seen how these things change people. I've put canvases in front of people with colors, and immediately they're, oh no, I can't draw. Oh no, and they resisted. But as soon as they start, and as soon, of course, I lower the stakes and I'm like, hey, listen, this is gonna be a shit show of a canvas. Just join the shit show, and I ruin the canvas. So there's no goal of perfection or beauty, and so they start, drawing, playing. They get so into it, and hours go by, and the canvas is done. So I've seen someone go from stressed and chatty and nervous talk to relaxed and quiet and happy. And I'm curious to know how that affected their next day. If you have come back to tell me, I'm definitely gonna start doing this at home. I love this. So, what do you think? Let me know.